Hello, all of you. Welcome once again to the filtration unit of the particulate technology. So, today is the fifth session of the fourth unit. So, this is what you studied in the last unit, the last class. That is, we discussed about the plate and frame filter press. So, in that, we learned how a non washing type of plate and frame filter press is constructed and how we can construct the washing type of plate and frame filter press. So, how the two can be operated and what are the relative merits and demerits that also we learned. So, today we'll take up another type of filter used in industries called leaf filter. So, let us understand its different types and what is the construction and working principles of leaf filter along with the applications. So, the filter press, what you saw in the previous class, is useful in many purposes, but it's not economical for handling large quantities of the sludge. So for efficient washing also, this is not a suitable one. So it requires a large amount of wash water. So because of all that disadvantage, the other types of filters such as leaf filter can be thought of as a alternative equipments for getting a better filtration duty. The wash water often flows through the channels in the cake and large volume of wash water is needed in case of plate and frame filter press. The leaf filters, on the other hand, provide large surface area by using a variety of filter leaves, and it do not require complete disassembly of for cleaning that is necessary with the plate and frame filter press. So these are the advantages points of a leaf filter compared to plate and frame filter press. So one is the washing. See, in plate and frame filter press, the wash liquid will have to flow through the channels in the cake. So the cake is um, obtained in the form of a thick bed. So you require a large amount of water to wash the entire amount of cake. So in leaf filters, we can provide large surface area of the filter cake for washing by operating with a variety of filter leaves. So on each filter leaf, the cake deposits. So that makes the large surface area of the filter cake available for wash with the wash liquid. So we can comparatively consume a less amount of wash liquid to wash the filter cake in leaf filter compared to plate and frame filter press. So also to discharge the cake, we have to disassemble all the parts of the plate and frame filter press. So whereas in leaf filter, so that washing or the removing or the discharging of cake is do not require always the complete removal of all the parts of the the leaf filter equipment. So leaf filter can handle large volumes of slurry and washing of cake is relatively more efficient. So that is the main advantage of a leaf filter over the filter press. So this is how we can classify the leaf filters. So there are vacuum leaf filters as well as pressure leaf filter. So Moore leaf filter is a vacuum leaf filter, whereas Kelly leaf filter and Sweetland filter are the pressure filters. So before we go to a specific type of a leaf filter, so first let us understand its general working principle by considering the structure of a single filter leaf. So as shown in the figure, a filter leaf has a core which is a piece of heavy coarse mesh of wire screen. So that is shown by the part A in the figure. So this is the wire screen which has a coarse mesh wire. So that is backed by, and after that you have a finer screen as indicated by part B in the figure. So around the outside edge of this assembly, that is inside core screen, outside a fine screen, there is a light piece of metal of U-shaped cross section C that binds the edges. So I'm talking about this core. So around the edge of this two assembly, so there is a U-shaped metal piece which is binding the edges of these two assembly. To this binding is attached a nipple D. So this is a nipple D, so which serves to remove the filtrate as well as suspended leaf. Okay, so this is used for suspending the leaves of similar type inside the equipment. So over which the filtration takes place. So also this provides the outlet conduit for taking out the filtrate. So the filter enters the screen and from the core it goes out to the of the equipment through this outlet pipe at the top. Over the leaf is a drawn sack of filter called cloth E. So even though there is a fine mesh after the coarse mesh, so this is not fine enough to prevent the entry of all the particles that are coming along with the slurry. So you require a filter cloth that comes as a outer layer over the wire mesh screen assembly that we have discussed just now. So part E in the figure represents the filter cloth that envelopes the whole assembly of the wire mesh screen. So this is sewn tightly around the edge of the leaf and caught under a collar around the nipple. So it is sewn for the entire area of the wire mesh assembly, and that will be tightly um, caught under the nipple at the top of the wire mesh assembly. Okay. So when this leaf is immersed in a slurry tank, the slurry to be filtered fills the space around the leaf. Okay, so the slurry will be around this leaf during the operation and is forced to flow through the leaf by applying pressure on the slurry or a vacuum within the leaf. So that is how it can be employed for a vacuum operation as well as pressure operation. So if you apply vacuum from inside, the filtrate will be sucked into the leaf, so leaving the layer of solid on the outer surface of the leaf. So on the other hand, after the slurry surrounds the leaf, if you apply pressure, then the filtrate will be forced to flow into the leaf, the solids getting deposited on the surface as a filter cake. In either of the cases, the filter cake builds upon the outside of the leaf, that is on the cloth, and the filtrate passes within the leaf to the filtrate's discharge system. So the operation is very simple. In whichever case, maybe it's a pressure operated or a vacuum operated leaf, the slurry will be surrounding the outer surface of the leaf and the filtrate will flow through the pores in the filter cloth and then through the openings that is in the wire mesh, and finally from the center it goes through the outlet at the top and into a discharge system, and thereby the filtrate gets separated from the slurry and the solids will get deposited on the outer surface in the form of cake. The slurry to be filtered fills the space around the leaf and is forced to flow through the leaf by applying pressure. So in both the cases, okay, so that is how we can get the filtration done using a single filter leaf. So we can just immerse the leaf inside a slurry and apply vacuum from inside so that the filtrate can be sucked through the filter leaf, leaving behind a deposition of solid on the outside surface of the leaf, creating a thickness. Okay, so one important type of leaf filter called the Sweetland leaf filter is developed for handling a large volume of slurry. Okay, so let us now understand the construction of that kind of continuously operated leaf filter. The leaf filter that is shown in the figure is developed for larger volumes and also more efficient washing. So each leaf is a hollow wire framework covered by a filter cloth. So as we discussed the structure of each leaf in the previous slides, a number of such leaves are hung parallel in a closed tank. So it essentially consists of a closed tank, and inside the tank a number of leaves will be hung from a top connection. So this they will be suspended from the top of the tank. The slurry enter the tank. So there is an inlet space for slurry on one side of the tank. So this will enter through the inlet pipe. Then it will be forced to flow through the filter cloth where the cake deposits outside the leaf. Okay, so when pressure is applied by means of feeding the slurry using a pump, then the slurry enters and fills the space around the leaf and will be forced to flow through the leaf. So during which the solid get deposited as a layer on each leaf, but the liquid will enter the wire mesh passing through the filter cloth and then will flow in the upward direction through each of these suspended leaves. The filtrate flows inside the hollow framework and out ahead. So they come to a common chamber at the top. So that header pipe takes this filtrate out of the tank. So after a sufficient amount of cake is built up on each leaf, then the slurry inlet can be stopped. Then the washing can be provided to the deposited cake before it can be discharged. So here the washing is more efficient than in plate and frame filter press because you have a relatively lesser amount of thickness in the cake on each leaf. Uh, then if you force the wash liquid through the leaves, then the washing takes place more efficiently in this case. So after washing is over, we can blow the air from inside of the leaf so that it partially helps the cake to dislodge. So afterwards, we can remove the cake, that is discharge the cake by using a suitable mechanism. To remove that cake, the leaves are opened and sometimes the air can be blown in the reverse direction into the leaves to dislodge the cake. So whenever the cake is not that tightly held on the surface of the filter leaf, so just by blowing air from inside can help cake to dislodge and fall to the bottom of the tank. So that is how we can discharge the filter cake easily, so without having to remove all the filter leaves for the discharge of cake. So if the solids are not the required product in the operation, then you can use the water jets to simply wash away the cake without opening the filter. That is, water jets can be used to just force the water on each leaf in on which the solid is deposited. So that force of water causes all the filter cake to dislodge from the outer surface of the filter cloth, and which will fall to the bottom. Can from there it can be discharged as a waste. Okay, in case where the solid is a required product, then you have to use some other mechanism to remove the cake from the filter plate. So the leaf filters also suffer from disadvantage of batch operation. That is, here also you need to stop the filtration cycle to carry out the wash cycle. That means the operation in this type of filter is also an intermittent one. We cannot carry out the continuous operation of filtration. So uh, we can we cannot carry out the process automatically with the simultaneous washing and cleaning cycle. Okay, so however, with the batch process, they can give you a performance with a relatively modest throughput processes. So this is a structure of the Sweetland leaf filter. So this section we have considered to study how it works. So the entire part of the leaf filter looks like this. So it is a rectangular tank in which the leaves are hung from the top of the tank. So this is the inlet pipe for the slurry, so which is forced to flow through the leaves in the upward direction. So it consists of a covering like this, a hinged bottom half covering and a stationary covering on the top. So by opening this hinge, the bottom outer shell drops to bottom, is it hangs down. So like this as shown here. So then you can take out the leaves from the tank for inspection, repair and other works. So this is another structure of a pressure leaf filter in which pressure force is used to carry out the operation. So in this case, we have a cylindrical type of a tank in which a number of rectangular shaped leaves are hung. So you can see that the leaf is inside it is having a wire framework, and outside you can provide a filter cloth which is tightly fitted at the end by means of using this spring. So these are the leaves that are hung from top side of the filtration tank. So this is a leaf filter, so that can be designed for industrial operation. You can see that there is a horizontal shell and a number of leaves fitted to the outer covering can be pushed inside and outside of the shell. So during the discharge of cake, it can be pulled outside, and during the filtration cycle, it can be pushed inside and closed from one side till the cake deposits up to certain thickness. So this is a picture of a real leaf filter that is used in industries. So that is used for continuous operation. So let us go through the multiple choice questions now. Moore filter is a dash filter. It is leaf filter, filter press, rotary filter, sand filter. So Moore filter is one type of leaf filter. So the right option is option number A. So shell and leaf filter as compared to plate and frame filter. So it is also called a shell and leaf filter because it consists of a shell in which the number of leaves are suspended. Okay. So in comparison to plate and frame filter press, entails less labor cost, facilitates filtration under high pressure, provides more effective washing. So it can provide all of the above actually. So labor cost is less in case of leaf filter compared to plate and frame filter press. It also facilitates high pressure filtration comparatively, then provides more effective washing also. So the option here is option D. Is all A, B and C are correct answers. Filtration capacity of a rotary drum filter depends upon. Okay. Uh, so still now we have not taken up the rotary drum filter. So anyway, let us go through the the question. Cake thickness, characteristics of the feed slurry, both A and B, neither A and B. The answer is option C. So filtration capacity in a rotary drum filter depends upon both the cake thickness that is formed during the operation and also the characteristics of a feed slurry. Which of the following is a vacuum filter? Is it filter press? Is it Sweetland filter? Is it basket centrifuge? Is it tank filter called the nuts filter? So among these actually nuts filter is the one which is operated under vacuum. So Sweetland filter is a pressure leaf filter, and filter press, of course, as you know, it is a pressure filter operated under batch conditions. Then basket centrifuge employs actually the centrifugal force. So the tank filter, also called as nuts filter, is the one in which vacuum is used as a driving force. So the last option is the right answer. So thank you once again for being a part of our session. So let us again meet in the next session to continue a study on filtration. Thank you.